pain is not your enemy, but you have treated it like one your entire life. Every time discomfort knocks, you flinch. You reach for your phone. You delay the hard conversation. You tell yourself you will start tomorrow. And here is the terrible truth no one told you. The more you run, the weaker you become. There was one man in Roman history who understood this better than anyone alive. They tried to break him. They exiled him to a barren rock in the middle of the sea. And what he did there should have destroyed him. Instead, it made him legendary. So the question is this: how does a man turn suffering into the one thing his enemies could never take from him? Stay with me, because by the end of this, you will never look at your own pain the same way again. His name was Musonius Rufus. And unlike the Stoics you may have heard of, he was not a wealthy emperor riding quietly in a palace. He was a teacher, a dangerous one, dangerous enough that the most powerful men in Rome wanted him gone. It was the reign of Nero, a paranoid, violent emperor who saw threats in every shadow, and Musonius, with his relentless teaching that a man could not be controlled by fear, was exactly the kind of threat Nero could not tolerate. So Nero did what tyrants do. He banished him, not to a comfortable villa, to Gyros, a tiny sun-scorched island in the Aegean Sea. A place so bleak, so waterless, so forgotten, that Romans used its very name as a symbol of the worst punishment imaginable. There was almost nothing there. No fertile soil, no fresh springs anyone could find, just rock, heat, and silence. This was meant to be a slow death, a place where a proud philosopher would waste away, forgotten by the world. But here is what almost no one realizes about what happened next. Musonius did not despair. He did not beg. He did not waste a single hour cursing his fate. Instead, he did something so strange that it unsettled the very men who had sent him there. He began to explore the island. He studied the ground. He searched the rock. And against all odds, he found water, a hidden spring, on an island everyone swore was dry. Word spread. And philosophers, students, the curious, they began sailing to Gyros, not to pity him, but to learn from him. The prison had become a school. The punishment had become a platform. But how? How does a man take the worst thing that can happen to him and turn it into an advantage? The answer lies in something he taught for years before he ever set foot on that island. A method, a code. Musonius believed something that sounds almost offensive to modern ears. He believed that comfort was quietly ruining people, that the pursuit of an easy life was making men and women fragile, anxious, and afraid of their own shadows. And he was not speaking in theory. He trained his students in hardship on purpose. He made them practice hunger. He made them endure cold. He taught them to sleep on hard ground, to eat simple food, to face physical discomfort willingly. Not because he was cruel, but because he understood a law of human nature that we have almost completely forgotten. The law is this: whatever you refuse to face controls you. Now pause and bring this into your own life for a moment. Think about the thing you have been avoiding, the workout you keep skipping, the email that has been sitting unopened because you are afraid of what it says, the dream you will not chase because failing at it would hurt too much. You know exactly what it is. You felt it the second I said it, and notice what avoidance actually does. It does not make the pain disappear. It makes it grow. Every day you run from the hard thing, it gets bigger in your mind. The conversation you dread becomes a monster. The task you delay becomes a mountain. Musonius saw this pattern 2,000 years ago in a world without notification and endless distractions, and he named the cure with brutal clarity. He said we must train for hardship the way an athlete trains for competition, because the day the hardship arrives, and it always arrives, you do not rise to the level of your hopes. You fall to the level of your preparation. And most people have prepared for nothing. They have spent years building a life engineered to remove every ounce of discomfort. So when real pain comes, loss, betrayal, failure, fear, they have no callus, no strength, no ground to stand on. They shatter. But Musonius had a system to make sure that never happened to him. 3 steps, and the first one flips everything you believe about suffering completely upside down. Here is the first step. Separate the pain from the story you tell about the pain. Musonius, like all Stoics, understood that suffering has 2 layers: There is the raw sensation, the cold, the hunger, the ache, the fear in your chest. And then there is the second layer, the one we almost never notice, the story, the commentary, the voice in your head that says, this is unbearable, this is unfair, this should not be happening to me, I cannot handle this. And here is the strange, liberating truth. The second layer causes far more suffering than the first. When Musonius stood on that barren island, the heat was real, the thirst was real, but he refused to add the story of despair on top of it. He did not tell himself he was a victim. He did not narrate his own destruction. He met the raw fact of the situation and nothing more. Now think about the last time you truly suffered. Most of your pain was not the event itself. It was the replay, the imagined worst case, the endless loop of what if and why me. That is the second arrow. The first arrow is what life shoots at you. The second arrow is the one you shoot at yourself. And modern science backs this up in a way that would have made Musonius smile. Researchers studying pain have found that our experience of it is dramatically shaped by our interpretation of it. The exact same physical sensation is felt as unbearable by one person and manageable by another, depending entirely on the meaning they assign to it. Soldiers with severe wounds have reported less pain than civilians with minor injuries. Because to the soldier, the wound meant survival, a ticket home, a story of honor. The sensation was the same. The story was different. This is the first step, and it is everything. You cannot always control the first arrow, but the second arrow is yours. Which brings us to the second step. And this is where Musonius becomes truly radical. The second step is this: move toward the discomfort on purpose before you are forced to. Musonius did not wait for hardship to find him. He rehearsed it. He chose voluntary difficulty in small doses so that when large difficulty came uninvited, it found a man already trained. He would eat food that required no cooking. He would expose himself to cold. He would practice going without, so that going without lost its power to frighten him. This is the exact opposite of how most people live. Most people spend their whole lives trying to widen the gap between themselves and discomfort. Musonius spent his life closing it. And the third step is what ties it all together, the step that turned an exiled prisoner into a teacher whose words survived 2,000 years. The third step is this: treat every hardship as training, not punishment. This single shift changes the meaning of everything that happens to you. When you believe pain is punishment, you resent it, you resist it, you shrink. But when you believe pain is training, every difficult moment becomes useful. The rude customer becomes a chance to practice patience. The failure becomes data. The loss becomes the forging of strength. On Gyros, Musonius did not see a prison. He saw a gymnasium for the soul. And that is precisely why his enemies failed. You cannot punish a man who has decided that everything is training. You cannot break someone who grows stronger from the very thing meant to destroy him. So, let us return to the burning question from the beginning. How did a man turn suffering into something his enemies could never take away? Now you know. He stopped running. He separated the pain from the story. He walked toward discomfort before it was forced on him. And he treated every hardship as training for the man he was becoming. And you can begin this tonight. Here is the practice. Choose one small voluntary discomfort, just one. Take the cold shower, skip the snack you do not need, sit with a difficult feeling instead of numbing it with your phone. Have the conversation you have been avoiding. It does not need to be large, it needs to be chosen, because every time you willingly step toward discomfort, you are casting a vote for a stronger version of yourself. You are building the callus. You are training for the day the real storm comes, and it will come. The only question is whether it finds you soft and unprepared, or whether it finds you ready. Running from pain does not protect you. It only postpones the moment you discover how weak avoidance has made you. Musonius understood that the life you're afraid of is often the exact life that would set you free. So the next time discomfort knocks, do not flinch. Do not reach for the escape. Lean in, because on the other side of the thing you are avoiding is the person you were meant to become. If this spoke to something you have been feeling, subscribe and stay with us, because the ancient world still has answers to the questions you are living right now.